Bridesmaids, it's on my top 5 comedies of all time. I love that film. I love Spy as well. I love so much of your stuff, and I'm still almost shocked to this day that it was only, you know, it was Academy Award nominated for Melissa McCarthy and also for the script, but not Best Picture. And I have this feeling myself that comedies in general still don't get enough attention and love and respect for what they do, you know, like in terms of huge award shows. And it seems like there's this bias where it's almost looked more favorably upon to get people to cry than to laugh, even though it seems like that's a more difficult discipline from talking to filmmakers in the past. Do you think that there is still, it doesn't get the recognition, the respect that it deserves as a genre?
Well, I mean, look, you're a man after my own heart with those statements, because no, in some ways we feel very underappreciated as comedy filmmakers, but at the same time, people look at comedy and go like, well, that's easy because you show up and you're funny, and you don't realize how hard we have to work to make it look easy. You know, in comedy, there's a thing we call sweaty, which is like, you go like, oh, that's really sweaty. Like you see either an actor's working really hard to get a laugh, and that feels sweaty, or a movie's just trying really hard to be funny, and you're just like, oh, it makes you feel uncomfortable, and it's not funny too, because you're like, they don't know what they're doing. So the fact that we have to make it look effortless, then you don't get the credit for it, but you don't realize how hard it is to make something look easy. You know, I mean, case in point, Steve Carell, you know, who starred in The Office, never won an Emmy Award for that role ever, because he made it look so easy. People would say to me, well, he just shows up and he's crazy. And it's like, Steve is the smartest guy I know. Like that is a character he creates and plays.
I'm Prison Mike. You know why they call me Prison Mike?
Do you really expect us to believe you're somebody else?
Do you really expect me to not push you up against the wall?
But he did it so well that people didn't give him credit for it. And it's you know, I hope that someday we will get the credit for it. But, you know, as long as we entertain audiences and like yourself, you know, people like yourself watch our movies over and over again, that's better than any award. Yeah.
Speaking of The Office, again, you made so many of my favorite episodes, like Dinner Party. I mean, that's like one of the highlights of comedic television in my eyes.
Babe,
Exactly.
I thought you said that you were going to tidy things up.
Well,
Shame on you.